Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles. Today we've got something a little different for you. It's a ranked arms race battle. This was sent in by the really good man here in the US Navy Tier 10 heavy cruiser, the USS Des Moines. So, ranked battle, 7 ships per side, arms race. For those of you who've never played it, just like regular ranked, except all kinds of buffs scattered around the map that you can pick up to enhance various things such as healing, faster reload on consumables, faster reload on your guns. If I'm sounding somewhat lackadaisical about this whole thing, it's because none of that really matters, not in this battle. Well, it does because it's an arms race ranked battle, but that's not the point of the video. So what is the point of the video then, Jingles? That's an excellent question. I am so glad you asked. You may have noticed that I do like to feature battles both in World of Tanks and World of Warships where something stupid, or at the very least funny, happens. In fact, I've even gone so far as to produce compilations of various different moments from World of Tanks and World of Warships battles where funny shit happens. But by the very nature of there being compilations, this means that I have to spend an awful lot of time going through an awful lot of battles to get the funny bits and then stitch them all together into one video. It's extremely rare for one battle to contain enough material to make an entire compilation video. This is one of those battles. The sheer amount of pants-on-head stupid shit that you're going to see in this battle just defies description. Although I'm going to have a damn good stab at describing it for you. Okay, the really good man's just been spotted, which indicates that there's almost certainly an enemy destroyer over in that direction somewhere. Now that could be very bad news for the destroyer, because the Des Moines, of course, is a radar cruiser. There goes the radar, and yep, there's a Shimakaze. The Shimakaze has the sense to keep an island between himself and the Des Moines that he just spotted. And the really good man has the sense to keep an island between himself and any torpedoes that the Shimakaze he just spotted might have fired in his direction. The Shimakaze, however, is he coming out from behind the island while he's been radared? He kind of is. Oh, that's a brave choice. Luckily, though, he got away with it. I mean, he took some damage, but the radar doesn't last forever, and he's managed to go undetected again. And there's no way he managed to get any torpedoes down this channel. He just didn't have the angles for it. Oh, and by the way, allow me to apologise for the press H to open the list of buffs thing that's currently cluttering the middle of the screen. Unfortunately, this is a replay bug. You can get rid of it while you're playing, but during a replay, I'm afraid it's here to stay. Meanwhile, the team already have a kill. I don't know if you noticed it, but they've managed to knock out one of the Smolensks, who stopped to smoke in open water, apparently didn't understand how radar worked. I only wish we'd been able to see it. Meanwhile, a bit of a problem here for the really good man. This spot is probably 100% safe from the Shimakaze's torpedoes, but it's definitely not going to be safe from the guns of the Kremlin. And he's just a little bit too close to the islands to be able to fire over them and get some early damage in on him. But here comes the cavalry. A fantastic smoke screen from the gearing. A couple of things to bear in mind here, however. First, the really good man cannot shoot from within this smoke screen, or he will be detected by the Kremlin. He's a cruiser, his smoke firing penalty is too big. Presumably to try to give himself some distance so he can actually help the gearing against the Kremlin. He's running his hydro, and they've spotted some Shimakaze torps there. Yes, hydro, not defensive AA, even though he's in a Des Moines. Because defensive AA is a completely toothless waste of time and just a waste of a consumable slot. Meanwhile, backing off from the Kremlin has given him some opportunities to shoot at the gearing, because of course now the gearing is spotting him. So he opens up, and unfortunately that's the precise moment where the gearing decides to use his smokescreen. And the fact that he fired now means that everybody with line of sight within 15.8 kilometers can see him. So he slams open the throttle, DD-mows back into the smokescreen, and manages to go undetected without taking much in the way of damage. Meanwhile, the gearing has poked out of the smokescreen to get eyes on the Kremlin again, and the Kremlin must know that there's a destroyer here for two reasons. One, he can see the smokescreen, and two, he actually saw the gearing. But he's still crossing the gap between these islands, knowing that there's a destroyer here, which is extremely, well, let's call it brave of him. Or is it because somehow the gearing managed to miss? At point blank range, he still somehow managed to miss the Kremlin. But the Kremlin, who seems to be a very sportsmanlike individual, is going to come out from the other side of the island and give the gearing another chance to torpedo him. And the gearing misses again. And then, sitting sideways on in a smokescreen, manages to suck on 2 Shimakaze torpedoes. Presumably thinking at best all he was going to have to do was finish off an extremely badly damaged Kremlin. The really good man has fired, and of course thanks to that smoke firing penalty, the Kremlin can see him, and gives him a savage kicking for his trouble. And even though he does have the flat broadside of the Kremlin to shoot at now, with American 8-inch armour piercing, he seems to be really struggling to do any damage, even though shells that do manage to make it over the island there don't really appear to be hurting the Kremlin, which is strange because I'm pretty sure Wargaming nerfed it recently to make it more easy to handle under exactly these kind of circumstances, by nerfing its anti-aircraft guns. If you're wondering why the really good man keeps looking in that direction, it's not because of the Shimakaze. Yeah, it's the Montana. Oh shit. You see, with the Kremlin presumably occupied by the Montana and the Grosse Kurfürst down to the south, he could have waited for the Kremlin to fire and then leaped out from behind the island and trying to get around him to the unengaged side where he could do some damage uninterrupted, but you can't do that with the Montana over there. He has to hope that the Kremlin is occupied with the battleships to the south and try to take the Montana on. Well, I've got some bad news for you, the really good man. The Kremlin is looking at you. So he just decides, fuck it, ramming speed, and yeah, he's missed. Oh shit. Well, he does have some time to get some damage in here, because of course the Montana's guns are all pointing the other way. The Kremlin is sitting broadside on to 2 battleships, and he's still got his guns pointing in this direction, but he can't fire because the Montana's there. And he's just getting hammered by the Grosse Kurfürst and the Montana to the south. Oh, they've found the Shimakaze. That's remarkably brave. The Kremlin is still determined to try to finish off the really good man, so the really good man kills him. Engines still at maximum throttle, trying to swing it around before the Montana can do the same thing with its guns. Is he going for the ram again? No, I don't think he is this time. He's just trying to outpace the Montana's guns while being hammered by his secondaries. And the Montana's guns are almost there. Oh, this could be it. Yeah, the Montana got... Oh, well. Oh, but wait. Who killed the Montana? That would be the enemy Montana over there, trying to steal the kill at the last moment by firing through his own teammate in order to hit the really good man. Unsurprisingly, some of those shots fell just a teeny little bit short. Oh, back to the enemy Shimakaze, who has managed to miss a target the size of a Grosse Kurfürst at point blank range with 2 spreads of torpedoes. Can anybody explain to me why a destroyer that can do 42 knots without speed boost and has a surface detection range of 5.6 kilometers is choosing to fight it out at a range of less than 3 kilometers with a battleship that's basically made out of secondaries and has a 6-kilometer hydro range? Nobody? No, polite answers, please. I told you this was going to be one of those battles. To be completely fair to the enemy Shimakaze, it's not just him. It just seems to be a Shimakaze thing. Observe the friendly Shimakaze. Yeah, that's a Des Moines over there, less than 7 kilometers away. What do you think that Des Moines is going to do when he sees these torpedoes? I think he's just spotted the torpedoes, but to his credit, he doesn't pop his radar straight away because he knows he's just gone undetected. So he now knows that that island is between him and the Shimakaze who was spotting him. So he's going to bide his time for just a few more seconds. He's going to clear the island, and then he's going to pop his radar. And what do you think the Shimakaze is going to do? Yeah, he's going to pop his smoke screen. Because that's going to help you, isn't it? For anybody who might be new to World of Warships, that's not going to help him. So we seem to have something of a full-on meme party going on in today's battle. First we've got the destroyers and the light cruisers, let's not forget the Smolensk, who don't seem to really have a complete grasp on how the mechanics of smokescreens, radar and hydro work. And then we've got the Des Moines heavy cruisers, to whom apparently the sight of a Montana-class battleship is like a red flag to a bull, and they just absolutely definitely have to try, the key word here being try, to ram them. But then again, maybe I'm being too harsh on the Des Moines. Maybe it's not a Des Moines thing, maybe it's actually a Montana thing. What is it about the Montana? The mere sight of which causes a red mist to descend over the eyes of the captain of whichever ship, battleship, cruiser, hell, maybe even destroyer, that happens to be closest to them. Montana captains, tell us what it was that you did. What did you do to piss everybody off so much? Anyway, 2 on 2, there's the gearing, and oh look, there are the gearing torpedoes, because oh look, there's a Grosser Kurfürst. Did we mention that these things have a 6-kilometer range hydro? Yeah. Gearing, you might want to get into cover behind one of those many islands, because you clearly know you're detected and hydroed. He's still trying. Dude, hydro is up. Why are you still firing torpedoes? I just... Oh man, I told you this battle was going to be special, didn't I? So let's see what the gearing does next. The Grosser Kurfürst is inching out, half of his guns are pointed there and ready, and of course all of his secondaries. And of course, you know, he can count torpedoes as well as anybody. So what's the gearing going to do? Because he doesn't have any torpedoes ready to go. He's going to inch out from cover, well within spotting range, very, very slowly. Just to maximise the number of shots that he eats from the Grosser Kurfürst and the Montana. Doesn't shoot anybody, doesn't have any torpedoes to fire at anybody. In fact, the only thing that was wrong with what the gearing did was that it didn't kill him. And now I've seen it all. Actually, no I haven't. Not even remotely close. The gearing has waited for his torpedoes to reload, and he's going to have another shot at finishing off that pesky Grosser Kurfürst. The torpedoes were proximity detected. The Grosser Kurfürst was not running his hydro. But he does still have hydro, and can still use it. And he has just flipped it on. Now that was the direction that the torpedoes came from, and there are a couple of islands there with some nice gaps between them that the gearing could have been hiding behind, inched out, fired his torpedoes, and ducked back into. So even if he does get caught by the Grosser Kurfürst's 6-kilometer range hydro, he's safe. That would have been the smart thing to do. It's the exact opposite of what he's done. He is between the island and the Grosser Kurfürst, so he can't run anywhere, and he's trying to hide inside a smokescreen while lit up by hydro. I was going to say he must be new here, except he's in a tier 10 destroyer. At this point in the battle, the Grosser Kurfürst has decided, fuck it, I'm going for the memes. No more shooting, he's going to ram the Des Moines. And just because they don't want to throw this game, the Montana is very wisely staying in the cap circle. Come on, Grosser Kurfürst, you can do it. You can succeed where all the Des Moines before you have failed. Or maybe not. Well, he's been forced to manoeuvre in such a way that he's now presenting a broadside to the Montana, who's got nothing better to do. And who doesn't shoot at him? It's kind of like watching a big slow-motion train wreck unfolding right before your eyes, isn't it? The really good man. Well, thank you for sending that one in. I'm just glad you enjoyed yourself. And hopefully everyone else did too, because that's it for today. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.